It's the Combine Podcast.
What is happening, everyone? Welcome back to another Copeye podcast and another reaction to a team news for quite a big game tonight. I'm Mick, joined by Tim once again, and we'll just go through it as it is below. It is Alisson in goal, got Trent right back, Phillips in back, centre half, Robbo left back, midfield three of Fab, Thiago, and Milner, and then a forward three of Mane, Salah, Firmino. Subs are Adrian, Genie, Keita, Ox, Jones, Hotter, Tsimikas, Shaqiri, and Reece Williams. What are your thoughts on that, mate, instantly?
Probably the same as everyone else's. I think everyone's a bit surprised to see Hotter on the bench and potentially Millie in the midfield as well. But I think it's more of a tactical move by Klopp to rest the likes of Wijnaldum and Hotter, who have had a more busy international break than the two guys who are filling in their spots. So interesting. But then again, I think that he's gone into this game trying to win it. But I think he has got Tuesday on his mind a little bit, hasn't he?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there was a load of chat on Twitter anyway about Kabak maybe not playing because I know Soyuncu got left out for Leicester, didn't he? And I think people were worrying that he might be another Turkey international that's gonna miss out. But he's playing, so that's good news. But we just got a little comment there from FTBL. Reece, he's resting Hotter for Madrid, and that seems to be the case because he is banging form, scoring the low for Portugal. He's back scoring goals for Liverpool. So if it was me, I would have played him today just so we could win this game. But yeah, it makes sense to kind of chop and change, doesn't it? Especially when we've got the likes of those people back and Fab back in midfield, and that bench is as strong as it's been for a long time, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd say so. I think that's more of the bench we'd be expecting, or we were expecting to see for the duration of the season. Obviously, injuries have taken their toll on the team throughout the course of it. But it's certainly an interesting one. You know, everyone would have thought that Hotter, he's been in goal-scoring form for Portugal. Why not, maintain that run? But then again, I think Firmino's just been cleared for this game, and although he has a fantastic history of scoring goals against Arsenal, we all get on his ass a bit about not scoring as much as he should do. But he has a good history of scoring against Arsenal, so I'm expecting him to kind of limit Firmino's minutes as well. So I'm expecting to see kind of half an hour of Hotter. It's an interesting team. It's an interesting lineup. He's obviously, I think potentially the Chelsea result has maybe got to him a little bit, because that is a massive result that's fallen in our favour, because this game is a bit of a swing game in terms of, if we win, we'll go 2 points behind Chelsea in fourth, and all of a sudden the top four seems reasonable. A reasonable goal, and if we lose to Arsenal, all of a sudden we're 2 points behind ninth. So it's a bit of this is probably a key game, or we will look back at it as a key game down the stretch of the season, won't we?
Yeah, I was just going to mention the Chelsea game. That was just a mad one, because I was out and about checking my phone, and it was like 3-1, and then it was like 4-1, and then 5-2, and I was like, what the fuck's going on? But it's a great opportunity. Like, we've had a massive rest, and I'm hoping that we'll come out all guns blazing tonight against an Arsenal team who'll want to come out and play and obviously try and cause us another defeat. But whilst we're on Arsenal, let's have a look at their lineup. They've made 4 changes from the last game. So they've got Leno, Chambers, Holding, Gabriel, and Tierney, Partey, Ceballos, Pepe, Odegaard, Aubameyang, and Lacazette. That's pretty much full strength, isn't it? Like that's a decent team. So they've took out David Luiz, Mari, Xhaka, and Saka. Maybe Saka's the only one that I would be quite worried about, because he is really direct and pacey, isn't he? So that's a positive. But they've got Odegaard, who can carry the ball forward, and Aubameyang and Lacazette can cause any defence problems. So we need to be on top form tonight. But with the centre half pairing, another game, it does fill you with a bit more confidence, doesn't it, going into this one?
Yeah, I'd say so. And obviously Phillips, having just picked up the Player of the Month award for the club and all that kind of stuff, will give him the confidence he needs. And from what we've seen from Turkey, they're exceeding expectations, and they have done in the World Cup qualifiers, beating the likes of Holland and stuff. So, I think both of these guys will be coming back and looking forward to this game. I think it's the first big game where you probably from the outset kind of fancy Liverpool, despite their form over the last couple of months. So I think that they'll feel the pressure a little bit, but I think they'll be in the right state of mind to be able to deal with that and hopefully put in a performance that kind of backs up what we've come to think of them over the last few weeks.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say games are must win, but I would say this is one because, like we said, Chelsea's defeat to West Brom, we can go 2 points behind them, and the fact that we've been on that bad run of bad form, and then we've obviously beat Leipzig, then we've beat Wolves, so we've got ourselves back up a little bit in terms of the table slightly, and then going a bit further in the Champions League. It does look a bit better for us, but winning again and keeping that momentum going tonight is key, I think, to especially going into Real Madrid. Like we've said, we're resting. Looks like we're resting Hotter. There's Wijnaldum on the bench. There's Keita on the bench. So I imagine at least 2 of those will come back in for Real Madrid. So it is nice to get to see these players come back in and having a bit of freshness in the team, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean it is what we were saying earlier. You know, that strength in the bench where you have the confidence of a player of, you know, a player of Hotta's class coming on to be able to change a game. And you genuinely believe if it was 0-0 and you saw him on the sideline, you think, oh, we're going to have a real go here of half an hour. We're going to be really dangerous. Which is something that we've lacked for a large portion of the season. So having so many players back and Klopp having the grace of being able to, you know, having the issue of picking his lineup is probably a really, really nice problem for him to have at the moment. And I think he's probably appreciating it a little bit more than he would have done last year. But yeah, this Chelsea game puts everything into, you know, up in the air, because I think we were all pretty much ready to go. All right, well, we just put all our eggs in the Champions League. You know, the draw kind of fell our way a little bit. You know, the 2 strongest teams in the competition are on the other side of the finals. But you know, Chelsea are now going to go through a big period of transition. You know, it's their first loss under a new coach. How are they going to respond to that? So everyone knows that when a quality coach comes in, they have every team has a manager bounce where they get, you know, they go on a month or 2 and they go undefeated, or they win the majority of their games because everyone's trying to play out their skin to basically earn their minutes. So it'll be interesting to see how Chelsea react to that, and Leicester have to play the 5 teams above us all in the next 9 games. So it'll be interesting to see. I'm not sure how they're doing now against City, but you know, well, there you go. It just kind of makes everything a little bit more interesting regarding the Premier League, and what seemed so distant just 2-3 weeks ago is now all of a sudden, you know, if we win this game, we're a toe in. So yeah. It's certainly made the Premier League side of things interesting, and you know, it's now, you know, exciting football midweek and on the weekend, rather than just trying to huff and puff through the weekend and then be really excited for the midweek game against whoever we're playing. So yeah,
definitely, mate. And I think Dan's just put a good comment in there. 7 wins and maybe a draw gets top 4. If we don't lose today, it's points gained, and that's literally, I mean, it's basic, but that's all we can do at this moment in time because of our, like we said, our run above form before the previous 2 wins. Obviously, we had a few good wins in that run above form, but in majority we were kind of just weren't picking up the points. Like losing to Everton and City and Leicester, and just loads of losses in a row just wasn't good. So the fact that we're still in there, and like that Chelsea result going for us is huge. That we need to use that tonight to go, right, this is the chance we need to claw it back to 2 points. And I think Everton will have 2 games in hand. I think they play Monday night against Palace, but we just need to keep ticking over, don't we? And that's all we can do in terms of going forward, because we've got, like we said, a bit of freshness in there, and I am looking forward to tonight though, because I think it's going to be a decent game. We haven't got a great record at the Emirates, but I'm feeling positive about tonight, because like Reece said, I thought Saka was on the bench, but he's injured. So that's, I mean, we've got enough injuries in our team, so they having them have a couple is fortunate for us. But before we're getting on for 10 minutes here, Tim. So before we go, let's have a score prediction, please.
It's a tough one actually, because I mean, we were just talking about it being a swing game. It's hard to predict the result because Arsenal have been kind of clawing their way back into form and clawing their way up the table. But I think we're going to see a 2-0 tonight. I think it's going to be a couple of first half goals, and I think we're going to cruise through the second half. I think it's going to be another clean sheet for Kabak and Phillips, and they're going to start really have to be respected by the teams we're coming up against. I think it's going to be a positive one this evening.
Yeah, I hope so, mate. I'm going to go 2-0 as well. You know, there's a couple in the comments here. Jake's gone for 2-1. Kev's gone for 2-0. Let's hope Thiago scores, mate, and I'll go and crack open that Thiago t-shirt and get it on and get a little bit of whiskey in my Thiago mug. But yeah. Oh, wait there, Dan's popped in for one with 3-2. Ooh. Oh, I don't know if my heart can take that.
I was going to say.
And then David's gone 2-1. So yeah, everyone's looking positive in terms of a win. But yeah, cheers everyone for jumping in. We've had Reese, we've had Dan, we've had Kev, we've had Mountain Bliss, who asked Chamber number 9, maybe next time. He might come on towards the end, mightn't he? He's done well in the last game, so yeah, that could be a shout. Cheers to Yuki. We have got Brian, of course. We've got David. Nice one to Jake. And yeah, I think that was everyone. So we'll be back straight after the game. About 10ish, me, Tim, and Jay, and we've also got an Arsenal fan, Albert from Albert TV, who's a proper sound fella, to be fair. So even if we lose, I won't be dreading it because he's a proper sound fella. So I don't know. He might turn into a monster if fucking Arsenal win. So we'll see. But nice one for jumping on, everyone, and we'll see you all about 10 o'clock later tonight. Up the Reds in a bit.